Hey everyone, welcome to Facebook Live. Today we're with the tax teams from LASC and Souls, and we're going to be talking about troubleshooting issues you may be having while trying to claim the child tax credit. Danielle?
Thanks, Justin. Hi, everyone. I'm Danielle from the Legal Aid Society of Columbus's tax team, and I'm joined today with Kathy Hoover, the staff attorney for the Low Income Taxpayer Clinic at Legal Aid, and Luke Mienick, staff attorney for the LITC of Southeastern Ohio Legal Services. As Justin said, we're here to discuss the child tax credit and the various roadblocks people can run into. Feel free to leave a comment below and we'll answer what we can. To start us off, Luke, can you briefly remind everyone what the child tax credit is?
Yes, Danielle. The Child Tax Credit, or CTC, as it's also been known, changed beginning in 2021. It's now a fully refundable tax credit that you can claim under 2021 tax return, even if you have no earned income. The credit is a total of $3,600 for each dependent child under the age of 6 and $3,000 for each dependent child between 6 and 17. Half of this credit was to be advanced to taxpayers based on their information from their 2020 return. Those monthly payments began in July of 2021. Generally, taxpayers filing their 2021 return need to claim this credit for each child and reduce the credit claimed by the amount received in advance.
And do I need to pay back these credits? Were the advance payments just a loan?
Generally, no. You do not need to pay back the advanced child tax credit payments that you received in 2021. The payments were not a loan, but again, an advance of half of the 2021 tax credit. If you received an advanced child tax credit payment, but were not entitled to receive the payment, you are entitled to repayment protection if your income is below $40,000 as a single filer or married filing separate, $50,000 or if you are filing as a head of household, and $60,000 if you are married and filing a joint return, or if you're filing as a qualifying widow. If your income is over those amounts, you may need to repay at least some of the credit that you received.
And what if I'm not sure how much I received in advance in the CTC payments?
So the IRS mailed letters to recipients of the CTC payments in January and early February, listing the total amount that was advanced. If you are married and file a joint return, each spouse will get a letter listing half the payments that were received. You will need to claim the amount on both letters on the return. If you did not get the letter, you should try to check the Child Tax Credit portal at irs.gov or request an account transcript from the IRS. You will need to set up an account with irs.gov first if you do not already have an account set up.
Thank you. And Kathy, what if the letter doesn't match what I received?
So you should review your payments in the Child Tax Credit portal or your IRS transcripts if you think that a payment may have been returned. If you check that portal and find out that the amount was reduced, you can use that updated amount in the portal, but only use the updated amount in the portal. If you didn't receive a payment and the payment was not updated in the portal, you should ask the IRS to trace that payment. Although this payment trace can take some time. To start a trace, you would contact the IRS as soon as possible between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. local time at 1-800-809-4184. When you call the IRS, you must provide the following information about the missing payment, the date, the method, the status, and the amount. So please check your account first if you can. If it's determined that this payment was actually not received or was returned to the IRS will update its records, and then you can exclude the payment from the total amount of your advanced child tax credit payments you report on your tax return. This will allow you to claim, if you're otherwise eligible, the missing payment of your child tax credit on your 2021 return, or you can amend your return to use this updated amount if you've already previously filed your return.
Thanks. And Luke, what happens if one parent received the advance payments, but now another parent is claiming the child on their tax return for 2021?
So the parent that's claiming the child on 2021 will be able to claim the full amount of the child tax credit, even if the other parent received the advanced portion of the payment. And it's so long as the child also qualifies as your dependent for 2021. The other parent will still need to report the child tax credit payments they received on their return and possibly will have to pay it back depending on their income and the individual situation.
And will my CTC refund be seized to pay my student loans or other debts like child support or past taxes that are in default?
So no. So the advanced the advanced child tax credit payments were not seized to pay federal student loan debt or child support. However, they are not exempt from garnishment by non-federal creditors. Therefore, your advanced child tax credit payment may have been subject to garnishment by your state, local, or private creditors, including pursuant to a court order involving a non-federal party, which could include fines related to a crime, administrative court fees, restitution, and other court-ordered debts.
And Kathy, what if the IRS thinks I made a mistake in calculating my child tax credit?
So they'll issue what's called a CP13 notice, which is generally referred to as a math error notice. This notice allows the IRS to adjust the refund to reduce or increase to what they feel is correct. You'll then have 60 days from the date on that letter to call or write the IRS if you disagree with the change. But keep in mind that if you disagree with the IRS, this will likely set you up for an audit or exam that could take many months to resolve. So you want to be sure that you verify the amount of the credit you claim before you call or write the IRS about this.
And what if someone else claimed my dependent and now my return's getting rejected?
So that's just an e-file error. So you'll need to print out the return and submit it by mail. It will take some time for the IRS to process that paper return. However, the IRS does prioritize these current year paper tax filings. Once processed, the IRS will open an investigation as to who should claim that child, and you may or may not hear from the IRS regarding this investigation.
I filed in January and I'm still waiting for my refund. What's going on with it?
So the IRS delays processing of returns that claim the child tax credit and some other credits by law until the middle of February. So if you claim this or other credits and you had filed previously electronically, you chose direct deposit and there were no issues with your return, you can expect to get your refund beginning on or around March 1st, which is this week. So you should be getting those refunds soon.
Awesome. Thank you to Kathy and Luke for all of the helpful information on the child tax credit. And thanks to everyone for watching. And if you have any questions that we didn't answer, please leave a comment below and we'll answer what we can. You're welcome to visit our websites, www.columbuslegalaid.org or www.sols.org for our in-depth videos on a variety of tax-related topics. You can find those videos and more under the Get Help tab when you choose tax. Stay tuned for later in March and April for more of our tax chats. Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Goodbye.